First, let me give okay. Yeah, so I think that Ibrahim, we can start now.
Okay. Once again, congratulations for your certificates. If you did not receive your certificate and your name is in the list, kindly call our attention and then we can verify if that happens. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I will give you an instruction about how you can submit your assignment. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So as we explained yesterday, the first thing you will do is you fork the repo for the class that we have so that we can be following the weekly lessons. Then you create a new repo with the name Arewa Data Science Machine Learning Assignments. Then in that repo you create a folder, or you create folders for individual weeks from week 1 to week 10. So after every assignment, you push the notebook you have to the respective folder. Then you can give the name of that assignment according to which the heading of it. I will show you that in a bit. So you should note that student will be assessed at the end of every week. So you don't necessarily how you group the lessons. It's up to you. But at the end of every week, you must have completed all the exercises or all the assignments that you have for that week, and you have pushed it by Friday, so that on Saturday we can take and observe who was able to, who have sufficient time to do everything. Then only students that complete their weekly assignments, all of them on time for every week on time, will be eligible for the completion certificate from Google Research. Upon satisfying other requirements that may involve like writing medium posts and thereabout to be determined later, then as usual there will be office hours to be conducted by the helpers. So I will stop sharing my screen and share a different screen. Okay, is there any question about this? Okay, no question. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, doctor.
but I think there is need for you maybe to specify the format of the name to be given to the repository.
Yes, I will go to that.
Back to last chat screen, some instruction about mentioned. What you see?
You can see my browser, right?
No.
So if you go to our repo, you will observe that for the first week we have introduction. When you go into the introduction, as we've shown you, we have 4 lessons here, and each lesson, when you can just read a bit about the lesson. Then when you open the lesson, you will have the pre-quiz that will take, which will assess what you know previous before the class, and then you have the post-quiz that you take that will assess your knowledge after the quiz if you've learned anything at all. Then at the end, you will have an assignment. So how you will name individual assignment is, this is introduction 1, right? Then we have history of machine learning. When you open it, it's the second one. So this is the name that will give it, history of machine learning, separated by hyphen or minus. Then you will come to the end and do its assignment. So if you observe, not every lesson have an assignment. I will document this so that you can take a note of it. Not every lesson have an assignment. For example, this assignment for this first lesson is just set up your environment and what have you, which most of you have already done that. So you can just create a notebook and just write what you've done or whatever, and then submit that with the name introduction.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
when you come to the second lesson, the history of machine learning, it's also similar. You try and do it. If you have problem, we can and helpers can help you. This one is also not per se a programming assignment. You will have to create a timeline based on what you've learned in the history of machine learning. So when you create the assignment, you can see that it takes you to another repo which contains this one, which contains, it takes you to another repo which contains a code that will use JavaScript with JSON to create a timeline. I think you don't have to do this, but you give it a try and see. You can see the example of how it is, and you can create a timeline of AI, machine learning, and what have you using this guidelines. So you can go ahead and try this. And then if you are able to do this, then you also create push, because it's an entire repo, you push the repo as part of your in your GitHub, and then it will be very good because recruiters and others can come and see that you've been able to do this on your own. So then if you move to the other lesson 3, similarly, you will give it this name, fairness in machine learning. That is the name of your notebook. Then when you come, you explore the what you're expected to do in the assignment. If it's a programming assignment, then you do the assignment. If it's not, then you can write just a notebook about what you've learned and all the things that you've seen in the repo. So is there a question regarding this? I hope I'm audible. I'm facing some network challenges lately.
Yeah, there's no problem. We can hear you.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, sir. Are we to create a new environment? And second, what is the name of the repo we have to use?
I don't name of repo.
Are we creating a new repo for this new machine learning?
Yes.
Yes. Create a new repository. Machine learning, Arewa DS machine learning. So we'll share. I think we will share the details of the steps you will do immediately after this session. Oh, okay, Dr. Brad. Yeah, okay, go on.
Create a new repository with the name Arewa DS machine learning assignments. A new repo, complete new repo. Then you create folders from week 1 to week 10. Every week you have a folder for it. So in every week, we have a number of lessons. It can be 4, it can be 3, it can be 2. So for every lesson, you name a notebook with the name of that lesson, and then you push the assignment that you have for that lesson into your repo. If especially this first week introduction, you may not have a lot of programming assignments, so you may need to write what you've learned in the notebook using the markdown, just a bit of that, so that you can push. Then meaning you have something to push for that lesson. So I don't know if that answers your question. Okay, Shams, are they supposed to create new environment for this or no?
No. So the environment they created already for data science or whatever they have been doing, it should be fine.
Okay. So anybody with any other question? I hope I'm sure everything here you can do, because you've been doing it already. You put repos before in the 30 days of Python. You create repos, you've been pushing and the rest. So the only thing that you have to take note is, which I will also add in this guideline, is the naming convention that you will follow, and then what you need to do if you don't have any coding exercise. And as we have mentioned yesterday, some of the codes are for R. So, but you can just ignore them and then focus on the Python except if you are already comfortable with Python, you can do it with Python, and then you want to also learn R, then we can make arrangements to see how we can guide you on that.
Yeah, anybody that is interested in R, I can help with that regard as well.
So there is no question or observation. Okay, Shamsuddin Okabila, follow, do you have anything to say? What do we also have for you?
Okay, maybe I can share my screen so that I can. Do you finish your presentation, Dr. Ibrahim?
Yes.
Okay, so let me do something. Okay, so let me share my repository. Oh, okay, not repository. Share my desk. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay, cool. So thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for going through the intro about that. Let us talk. Let me take us through on a very simple pipeline on as a fellow who wants to start doing the first week each lesson. So the first thing first is we can just fork this repository. I want to show us how we can basically run this thing locally without going to the internet always. So maybe I need to, yeah, now it's, I think
yeah, it continues. So you need to come back from installing the NPM.
Okay. So what you can do from here, when we come back to our repository, this is our repository, right? And as a fellow, you want to start everything locally, because you don't want to have you may not have internet connection at every time, or you don't want to spend your data. So you want to install this locally so that you open it and walk through it. So you need to come to this, what we call Docify, and install it. So this is it, Docify, and this is the installation. You need to use npm to install it. For npm, how to install npm installation. So you can use Node.js, I think, to Node.js. Yeah, you can see them. So you can download Node.js. For example, these are some installers for Windows. You can install using this stuff. We can share this. So yeah, I share in the chat. So now after you install that, you need to go back to your okay, let me copy this guy. So when I copy it, I open my VS Code. So inside my VS Code, let me go back into the folder, inside my folder that I clone, this folder. So for example, since I'm inside here, for you to be inside your folder, Arewa, I can do like this, right click, I said, open in terminal, open integrated terminal. So when I say open integrated terminal, you can see I'm inside my folder. Here I'm inside introduction. Can you see inside introduction? But I want to be just inside, I can say this. So you can see I'm inside my Arewa machine learning, this repository. So you need to be inside this repository if you want to open this inside locally. So you need to install this. So you can see here, I installed this. Installing this Docify need not to be inside this repository. You can install it, globally. But if you want to open this folder locally, you need to be inside. So now what I need to do is to go back to my repository here. Okay, so after you install Docify, you need to run this guy called Docify serve, right? I come back here. I come back here, right? And now I say, okay, run this guy. So Docify serve, I run it like this, and now it creates some local host stuff, right? You can see it. I can copy it like this, okay? Or I can click, control command in my computer, or in your computer, I think is control on Windows. I'm not sure. If you click something, you can see it present your click, it becomes clickable. You just click it and it will take you, or you can just copy here. So let me copy, and now let me open here. Boom. So you can see this guy now is locally in our computer. It's not on GitHub, right? You can see this is a local host, and everything on that repository is now on this local repository. And you can run everything as you do, unless what you cannot do is some stuff that are on YouTube that are online, but the normal stuff, they are here. Now you can see here, click here. If you can see here, it can take you back to a GitHub repository, right? But this one is the one we fork. So we'll, do this stuff. So you can see here when we click here, when I click here, it takes us back to the original, course content that we fork. We already said that this is from machine learning from Microsoft, but we will update this one to go back to our repository for our Arewa Data Science. Now, as a fellow, how can you start working through this stuff? Now, you can see this is something, it's good, like you can run your stuff locally, because you need not to be online on internet every time. So in that case, now you have everything. So what you can do is start with free pre-lecture quiz. So as Dr. Ibrahim made mention, each lesson they have free lecture. I will come through that, read through the lecture and complete. So if start with free lecture quiz. So we can see here we have introduction, first week. So in each week we have a couple of lessons. So introduction, we have introduction, history, fairness. They are all under one package. Introduction. We have working with data. We have data visualization, which these are some stuff. And this is a learning objective. So learning objective introduction, learn the basic concept behind machine learning. This is just the learning objective. Number two, for example, data visualization, introduction to matplotlib, data distribution, proportion. These are the visualization, regression. These are the objectives. These are the main tests that will be taking us on all this week. For example, Idris in this week, me and Falalu, something like that. Will update this information. So start with free lecture. This is the guide on how you can take this course. Start with free lecture. So let me assume I want to go introduction. And introduction, I want to go, for example, the first one, introduction. So start with pre-quiz. Can you see pre-lecture quiz? So start with it, open it. It just try to test your application manage all around us. Who can give us the answer of this? Is it true or false?
It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Yes, you can see it's true. What is the technical difference between classical machine learning and deep learning? What is the technical difference between classical and machine learning? So
The use of neural network. The use of neural network.
Okay, so deep learning is using neural network and my classical machine is not using neural network?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see something like this. So this is just like to test your understanding before you start. Assume you don't know anything. The reason why here is that to test your understanding before you start. When you finish, you will come back to take another quiz to see whether you have learned better. And in each lesson there is optional video that you will go through. So unlike 30 days of Python we did, which is normally in written version, this introduction to machine learning, they put together many videos from different people to make you understand much better. So introduction to machine learning here, if you click this one, you watch a video which they are discussing different here. You can see introduction to machine learning. And now, what about the introduction of machine learning? You see, this is also another video which introduce machine learning. It just discuss what is machine learning, what are the difference between machine learning and stuff like that. Where can you use machine learning? This video is not from Microsoft. This because this course content is all open source. It's, they put together the best from different angle. So if you want to, learn the introduction to machine learning, this is the video you watch. You learn the details what machine learning is. So you can see we watch pre-lecture quiz, right? Which is the first one, pre-lecture quiz. So start with pre-lecture. Can you see that? Then the next thing, read the lecture and complete the activities. Pausing and reflecting each knowledge check. Can you see that? Read the lecture and complete. So what does that mean, read the lecture? So let's go back to our introduction. So read the lecture. So you finish it, read this one here, take this lecture, getting started with machine learning. This is the getting started. You need to install, complete this video. So this videos are how to install Python, how to configure your text editor, which we already did in our Python session. Learn Python. We already learned, this is where we took the first step to learn how Python, create a GitHub account. We already learned this stuff, right? That's why we already gone through this stuff to make sure that we have the basic and basic skills. But if you think you can refresh something, you can go over, explore scikit-learn. Now explore scikit-learn. What do we mean by explore? Just open it and see what is that. So this is a scikit-learn. What is scikit-learn? Scikit-learn is just a complete, algorithm, implemented algorithm for doing machine learning. So whatever we will be doing in machine learning, we'll be doing what we call supervised learning and unsupervised learning. They are based in scikit-learn. Scikit-learn implemented all the machine learning algorithms. You can see support vector machine, you can see, nearest neighbor, decision tree, naive Bayes, all this stuff are called machine learning algorithm. If you want to solve a problem, how to detect, maybe intrusion detection, how to, maybe classification of what is hate speech and non-hate speech, all this kind of algorithm that you will be able to do with them. So this is what we call scikit-learn or sklearn. You can see it. We are just exploring. So scikit-learn is basically, a very efficient tool that you can use for, machine learning. So built on NumPy, you can see that, and Matplotlib. So we already did this. Yeah. So that's basically what this is saying. So you can see this is a getting started. So you now start, now set up your computer. Now you continue. What is machine learning? So they start talking about the hive of machine learning, ability for a computer to learn something without explicitly being programmed. And you can see, over time hive in 2014, 2004, you look at the trend for machine learning. You can see that 2004, but now look at, how it is growing. So you can see that it's, a Google trend. So we already know Google trend. If you go Google trend, if you don't know what is that, so if I go here, Google trend, not this one here, Google trend, I think this one. Okay, Google trend. So I can say machine learning. I want to see the trend on machine learning. Look at it. This is in 2012, but I can say, no, give me for the first since 2014. Look at it. You can see that Google trend from 2004. Look at machine learning is growing. You can, machine learning. You can see that since 20. What about we can say deep learning. Okay, not that not worldwide, but let's say in Nigeria. Let's look at in Nigeria. Oh boy. Oh, papa. Look at in Nigeria. So this interest over time is how people are searching or in Google, how they are doing web search. You know what I mean? This is, you can see, look at, in Nigeria, look at, we don't have this. So let me see in United States, for example, yep. Look at it. Can you see we are lag behind in Nigeria? We are not. We want you guys to become machine learning experts. So your searches about machine learning will also, present here, and you will make difference. You know what I mean? So this is the trend in machine learning. You can see it's something, but in Nigeria, unfortunately, we don't have such. People are not interested in that. Maybe in 2004, I don't know why we have this in 2004 in Nigeria. We have many searches, but okay, let's go back. So a mysterious, a mysterious universe. So this they are talking about that machine learning, is something that is emulated or from how brains work, right? Because when a child is born, he start learning something, so this is how machine learning works, just a learning. So when a child is born today, he doesn't know how to walk, he doesn't know how to speak, but he learn every day from seeing example, how people walk, how people talk. So this is what machine learning does. It learns from seeing data. You give a machine learning data, tell the machine learning, okay, wherever you see this is positive sentiment, wherever you see this is negative sentiment, you train the machine learning. And now the machine learning model will learn everything and now try to make prediction. Just like we have seen now from ChatGPT. ChatGPT now can do crazy stuff, but we just teach it, we just eat it, so it learns. So this is some terminology, and here these are good terminology in this AI machine learning. So what is AI? What is machine learning? What is deep learning? So AI is the large umbrella. When we say AI, is the big umbrella. So AI is just a big umbrella that include machine learning and deep learning. But machine learning is a core, and deep learning is subset of machine learning. So deep learning is subset. So machine learning is the umbrella of deep learning. So you can see AI is the core, machine learning is the middle, and this is the different. And you can see data science, it encompasses every angle. So data science, it encompasses AI, machine learning, deep learning. So this is something that you learn when you look at it. So you can see this is what will be covered in the course, regression, concept of machine learning, chapter week 1. History of machine learning, we will cover machine learning and fairness, regression, time series, natural language processing, clustering. All this will be covered in this. Yeah. So what will not cover, deep learning, neural network AI, will not cover this, will be done in next cohort. People that pass this cohort will now move into deep learning. Why study machine learning, application of machine learning, all this. So now when you finish this, we now finish what they asked us to do. If we go back here, read the lecture and complete the activities, person, and reflect. Try to recreate the project by comprehending the lesson rather than running the solution code. So there are some solution, there are some content. Let me do this. Okay. Okay, let me go back there. Introduction. So try to complete stuff. What they are saying is that the activities. So here you can see there is a challenge now. What is a challenge here? So on a paper or using online, you understanding up like this, you understand all the difference between here. So this is a challenge in this chapter. What is a challenge? Now, write the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. So this is just trying to challenge you to see whether you, and so you can see each chapter has a challenge. Optional challenge. So there is a challenge. The challenge is basically based on what you learn. So this challenge in this chapter is, difference between AI, machine learning, deep learning, and data science, and add some ideas problem that, so you can read somewhere else and, try to do that. This is challenge that you need not, to submit. It's just to challenge yourself. Post lecture quiz. So if you look at them here, complete the challenge. You can see take post lecture quiz. Take post-lecture quiz. What is post-lecture quiz? Which I've already shown here. Can use that. Take post-lecture quiz. If you open it. So machine learning are meant to simulate this human brain. Correct. What is an example of classical machine learning? I can say this. So this, try to understand. Check your understanding. Complete the challenge. What are the challenge? This is the challenge. You can see that. And then complete assignment. So what are assignment? You can see this is assignment, complete assignment. You can see that complete assignment. As Dr. Ibrahim said, the assignment here in this chapter is just taking for you to get up and running, to install Python and to see some, Python. So this may be optional. Since we have done that, you may not need to do this. So that is it. So for, so you finish now one topic in week 1. Can you see that? We can also go over here. Now, after completing lesson group, what is a lesson group? So a lesson group is this. A lesson group is this. Let me show you. Okay, a lesson group is this. So you can see we have introduction, we have this, and this. This is called a lesson group. This is called a lesson group because it includes many topic in it. They are called lesson group. So what do you need to do after the lesson group? So let's go back to our you know, after completing this is a Telegram group and learn by writing about the knowledge you gain. Don't forget to write a medium. So after you complete the group, what is introduction to machine learning and whatsoever, you can go to write a medium what you have understand in about machine learning and whatsoever. This is something that we encourage you to write after each and every, because it will try to pose your understanding to make it better. Yeah, so that's about this about week 1. Let me go also to history. So if you go to history as well, let me quickly take us because I know it's okay, let me talk about another thing again. Okay, so you can see each lesson. So what is included also in each lesson? So in each lesson, there are stuff that you may need to know that are included in each lessons. What are these things, stuff in each lesson? Optional sketch note. What is the meaning of optional sketch note? Optional supplemental video, pre-lecture warm-up quiz, write lesson, written lesson, for project-based lessons, step by step. So let me take us through each of these, that is, that's available for each. So each lesson includes optional sketch notes. So let's go to the next one. History of machine learning. This is optional sketch note. It may be available in all and may not be available in some. So you can see they want to start history of machine learning, but they, sketch what is the history. Now it starts from here, artificial intelligence. So you can see, it all started with what we call Alan Turing test. Yeah, Alan Turing. So Alan Turing, he was the one that think that about machine can do some stuff like us were doing. And now that's, this is the optional. And then the next one, optional supplemental video. Optional supplemental video. What this means is that in the previous lesson we saw for introduction to machine learning, there's a video which is optional that show all the difference between machine learning and deep learning. So that's optional. Then the next one, that is free quiz warm-up. So this is free quiz. You can see that this is a free quiz warm-up. Then the next one, there is a written lesson. So this is the written lesson. So history of machine learning. This is the history of machine learning. So you can see that notable discovery, how machine learning, you can see that, machine that think, all this one history of machine learning. You can see that history of machine learning. We have what we call AI winter. You can see that. What we mean by AI winter is a time when it become apparent that the machine cannot be possible, funding dried up, and confidence in the field is low. Some issue that impact. So there was a time called AI winter in the history of machine learning where funding for machine learning stopped. Government stopped to provide, funding for that. And some of the reason why, because there was no availability of data and there was no, available algorithm. There are also non-availability of complex machine, that can solve those. You can read it, you can see that. And now we have access. So these are all the history. And now you can see there is, a video for that. And now this is Yellikun, one of the Facebook, chief director for Facebook AI, Yellikun here. And this is a video discussing the history of machine learning. So if you go to the Yellikun lecture, you can see that some of this is the lecture, which is New York stuff. The connections between neurons can sort of change their. So yeah, so you can see, and this is the challenge you do, post-quiz, review, study, you review, and yeah, and assignment, you can see that this is assignment. So yeah, so going to another session, fairness. So what is fairness? Fairness in machine learning, you can see, is basically just, how machine learning can be fair to, Africans, to everybody. This is just theoretical on fairness in data. So that also, you can read it, and yeah, everything is there. There is what we call self-study. So self-study, sometimes you may see self-study. It's not necessary for you to go through it. It's something on top of what has been discussed, that if you have time, you can go through over it. That is called self-study. Yeah, so you can see here the self-study. review and self-study, it can include many other things that you can need to go to read on your own, which you may not necessarily need. This is called self-study. If you want to read more, that is that. And let's go to the next one, techniques. So this one, last one here is techniques of machine learning. How do we do machine learning? So there are many stuff in machine learning. These are technique. This is free quiz lecture. This is introduction. A lot of stuff, visualization. So yeah, you can see that. So finishing this, now you complete week 1. Going over here, you complete 1. So I take us through all these, what we need to take to through. Any question? And the Ibrahim already took us on how we can create, GitHub repository and, yes. Okay, go on, Mahmoud.
Okay, so about the Doxify, I tried to install it using terminal. It's showing that something else. I don't know what's wrong. Hello? Hello?
Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. What I said, did you install Node.js first?
Oh, okay, there is extension before the installation.
Yeah.
So, install the extension before the installation.
Yeah, npm, you need to install Node.js. So I share, maybe you are not here. So before you use npm to do any installation, npm, you need to do installation of Node.js. So I share this link. You can install Node.js. When you install Node.js, when you install Node.js, you will have, you will be able to install it. So if you don't install Node.js, npm allow you after you install that, so you need to install this, which I already installed. So you can try to install that, and now it will be okay. So you can see like everything now here is okay, Doxify. So yeah. This is good, like you don't need to be going through the on internet, your data. So you can open this one and just leave it on your computer. But if you close, if you close here the local, because this is local server running, if you close the server here, it means it will not run. So for example, here, if I close this one here, then when I try to move to another section, for example, like this, which one is here? Okay, it can go. Can you see not found? Because I closed the server. So the server must be on Doxify. So you can see local, listening this local server. So your server must be on. You copy it here. So once the server is on, you can continue everything. And now you can move from, from lesson to lessons, from data visualization, you can see it open. And you can, go through these lessons. So you can start going through the lesson here. You can see it. Yep. And yeah, there is another thing. So yes, so what we need to do, can you see this step? Read the lecture and complete the activities. Try to create the project by comprehending the lessons rather than running the solution code. However, that code available. So try to recreate the project, comprehending the lesson rather than run the solution code. What this means is that if we look at this, so for example, here we want to use, because when we move together, we'll be using, code. So now, for example, now we want to use Matplotlib to leave this. Don't just read this. No, don't just read this one. No, try to run this your own. Try to do, while you are reading, you are doing it yourself. You are running the code on your computer. You are typing. Do you understand what I mean? So for example, I want to do this one here this week. I build a pipeline. You open the notebook here, and now you read the data whatsoever. So you can copy this one here. For example, you can create your own, Jupyter notebook and now run this one yourself. not all you can write it yourself with hand, import funders as PD, and now, you know, you do it. Don't try to just read through this code, not writing the code yourself and seeing it. Write the code, see how everything works. That's how, you know, you'll understand everything. Any question? But by the way, this week, I think because we are doing introduction, there is no code. Hopefully next week we'll be able to show like how you can, you know, run through from the code and whatsoever. Since this week is just, you know, intro, there is no code, just is English. You will not have any problem. By next week we'll show you like how to, you know, make the process seamless. Yeah. Any question? Somebody is asking, are we installing the Node.js inside VS Code intention? No. So Node.js, you can install it anywhere. So for example, you can install it in your terminal. Yeah. So you got, you know, machine learning, I was saying machine learning is everywhere. So now even in your terminal, you have machine learning. Look at my terminal now. Can you see my terminal?
Yes, yes, sir.
So in my terminal now, I can see, how can I look at, how can I install Node.js? Look at it. Look at the command that returns. This is a thing. So I can just type here, just, you know, run this, you know, install, because I'm using, but let me say how to install Node.js on Windows. So you can see machine learning is everywhere. Can you see that? So to install Node.js on Windows, you can follow this step. Go to the official Node.js website, click on the Windows installer button to download the Node.js. This is crazy, right? Hey, you know, so you look at some of the steps. You can go to the Node.js website here, which is this. Okay. So you can download the Windows. You can see what it shows me. And you know, click the Windows installer. What is the Windows? You can see that Windows installer. Run the download installer. After you download, accept the license, choose the component you want to install, choose start menu, install, wait for installation complete. Once installation complete, open the command terminal, PowerShell, and run the following command note to verify this. This should output version of the Node.js. So then you are done. So you can see how crazy machine learning now and deep learning is going. So now from your terminal, you can do whatsoever. So, you know, if you want to install, if you want this terminal, it is called WAP, but it's available for people that have Mac OS. But I think it is coming also on Windows. So yeah, you'll be able to do that. So I can share these steps on how to install that with you guys. So that, yeah. Any question? Any question? Hello? Can you hear me?
You are audible.
Okay.
You are audible.
Okay. Any question?
No question.
So Dr. Ibrahim, let me hand over to you so that you can question.
So I think we've come to the end of the session. If you don't have any question or observation, except if the helpers want to contribute, Kabila and Fadal and others that are here, Wakili, if you have anything to add.
No, sir.
Okay.
So